Hi guys, welcome back to another Scout the Defender YouTube video and to the next episode of Project Blue, where we're going to start stripping the car down, ready to turn it into a soft top. In this video, I'm going to be removing the bumper, the winch, the headlining and stripping out the interior so that I've got a real blank canvas when I go to remove the side panels and the roof. I can't wait to get stuck into this project, and this first part of stripping the car down is just one step on that journey, so let's jump right into it. So I'm going to start with the easy things first. I'm going to remove the light parts light bar. That's going to be repurposed and put onto Scout, and then I'm also going to remove the winch bumper and the winch itself. I obviously didn't do the electrics for this, so I just want to make sure that I take my time, remove all of the wiring correctly, and also ensure that it's in a good place so that when I do get rid of it and give it to someone else, they can pick up and run with it. So let's tackle those first two things and then we'll get going. Once the main light bar was detached from the frame, it was just a case of chasing the wires back to the headlights. This light bar came on when I flashed the main beam, so they're just connected into that feed. So I just had to chase the wires back and unconnect it, so I've got no loose wiring. And with that wiring removed, it's just a case of putting the surrounds back on and then getting ready to remove the bumper. Right, so that's the light bar removed. It's now time to remove the bumper. First thing I'm going to need to do is disconnect all of the electrics inside and then run the cables back through before we can then unbolt everything and remove the bumper off the front of the car. So to be able to disconnect the winch bumper, I need to just get down into the electric box and remove the main power and the main earth cables. There's also a kill-off switch here that I need to remove also. And then once all of those are disconnected, I'll be able to then pull the wires through the seat box back towards the winch. So that's the kill switch all disconnected. I can now unconnect these two wires, the power that's running straight to the winch, and then we'll be able to pull that through the bulkhead towards the winch, and then we'll have all of the power disconnected. So under the car now, this is the mains power that was going directly into that kill off switch. It was obviously coming through the seat box, so I can pull this along the rail now and then pull it all the way down towards the winch, and then we've got that cable totally removed. This job's a little bit awkward if you don't have the luxury of a ramp. It's all about just crawling under the car and trying to pull the wire free and unclipping any cable ties holding the wire to the chassis rail. So now I've got the cables disconnected and unhooked from the chassis rail that they're running along to. I can now go through via the engine bay because they're following the chassis rail up and along the top of the radiator towards the bottom right corner of the winch. So I've again got my pliers just to disconnect any of the cable ties that are keeping them in place, and I should be able to bring them all the way up and then run them through and then disconnect them fully from the winch. So here you can see these are the power and the earth that are running back to the back of the winch. They're running through, and you can see here these are the wires that I've pulled up that are running along the chassis rail through the seat box of the battery. So I'm now going to be able to pull those through here, then we can disconnect them at the winch, and then that's all of the wiring out the way. So that's all of the wiring basically undone. I now can undo the big bolts that are holding the winch into the tray. That should be relatively quick, and then I can lift the winch out and pull the remaining wires through, and then we're ready to go and unbolt the rest of the bumper. I had to remove the steering guard to be able to get access to the bolts underneath the winch tray. With the winch free, it was just a case of pulling the winch out of the tray and getting a helping hand to pull the wires through the rest of the winch bumper. The only thing left to do was to unbolt the bumper from the body, and then it was ready to be removed. So there you have it guys, that is the front all stripped down. We've removed the bumper and the winch, we've removed the light bar, so we're now ready to move inside and remove the headlining. There's also a molly panel storage kit that I'm going to remove, ready to start the full conversion. Before I tackle the headliner, I just need to get this cargo panel out of the way. This is again from the guys at ORE. I won't be needing that when I turn it into a soft top, so I can remove that, get that out of the way, so I can start to crack on with removing the headliner. Once that was removed, it was really cool to be able to see the stripped back load bed. I obviously still need to think about whether I'm going to do a bulkhead delete and also what I'm going to do in terms of the seating arrangement for the rear, whether it's bench seats or fold down seats. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So with that cargo guard now removed, there's a few other things that I need to disconnect and remove, ready to remove the roof and the side panels. The first is there's a lot of external wiring for the rear lights. I'm going to keep all of these and these connections because they might be handy if I want to run any other power to the back. The other thing I need to do is remove the headlining, so go around, remove all the trim clips, pull out the headlining. It's in two pieces for the 9-tier front section, the rear section. Remove those and any of the cab lights that we've got, and then we should be ready to lift up the side panels, lift off the roof and start really turning this into what will eventually be a soft top. The first step was to remove the interior lights. I just have to remove the lens with a couple of screws and then disconnect the wiring so they're no longer attached to the roof of the car. Next up was the dreaded trim clips. I always end up breaking these when I go to remove them, so I ended up just using a drill, drilling them out and then using pliers to remove the rest of the trim clip so we can start to remove the headlining. At this point I forgot I also needed to remove the windscreen visors and also the mirror because these all connect through the headlining, so remove those and then we should be able to remove the lining itself. So it's the next day now. Last night I finished off stripping out the headliner, removing the bumper, the light bar. Today I'm going to continue with the strip down, removing door cards, cubby boxes, all of the smaller pieces that I don't need in the car, ready to remove the side panels and the roof. To do that I'm also going to have to declutter the garage so that once the roof and the side panels are off, it's going to have somewhere dry and secure to be kept. But let's jump into it, remove some of the other smaller pieces before we can start to think about the roof and the side panels. So now I've got the door cards off, you can see obviously it's got all of the membrane still intact. The one cool thing is that these doors are in really good condition. Often when you remove the door cards you can see that doors are rusted out. Obviously in this case they aren't at all. They're in really good condition. This is just mud and grime that's flicked up. So what I need to think about really is when I'm rebuilding this into a soft top, do I want to keep full doors or do I want to do the half door look? I think the half door look is really cool and something I'm really tempted with, but it just seems such a shame when the doors are in such good condition. They've obviously got the electric windows connected to them too, which can be rare on some of the older models. A lot of people retrofit that. So what do? Do I keep the doors, keep it a full door soft top, or do I do the half doors? Let me know. So there you go guys, that is phase one of the strip down complete. We've got the bumpers removed, we've got the light bars removed, we've got the winch removed, headlining removed, and any of the other smaller pieces ready to start the full strip down of the side panels off and the roof off in next week's video. I just need to crack on with clearing the garage out so it's got somewhere dry and secure to stay once the roof is off. I've also got some exciting announcements on the interior plans for this project, so check back in the next video where I'll reveal those, and I'll see you next time where it's time to really crack on and turn this into a soft top. So I'll see you then.